This is the Dacia Duster, but not the front-wheel drive one that most people buy. No, this is the proper 4x4 model, which is why we're here on the farm tracks and green lanes of Berkshire to get wet and wild. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am not an off-roading expert, not by any means, but this Dacia makes it remarkably easy to get down what are some very bumpy and slippery green lanes. Now, because it's the four-wheel drive car, it has a part-time four-wheel drive system. It comes as standard when you start the car up. It will be in auto mode, which means it's probably running with just the front wheels doing the driving. With the diesel engine we have in this car, it can get close to 60 miles per gallon combined. And I've seen it on my dash, so I know it's possible, but I've got it now in four-wheel drive lock mode, which means both axles are getting power. And it also means I can go off-road and put my foot down, carry speed on this slippery mud, even though we've got all-season tyres, not off-road tyres. We're on all seasons, which are not perfectly suited to this setting, and yet there's loads and loads of traction. I'm going through puddles now, splashes coming up the bonnet. It's just brilliant. It's so capable. It's making mincemeat of this surface. And when you click it into four-wheel drive mode, you actually split the torque front and rear on those axles 50-50, which is why it feels so balanced over these ruts, bumps and cambers. And it rides pretty well as well. It's got independent rear suspension, which not only helps with traction, but it also means these big holes and these big puddles, well, I can see the car rocking around me, but I'm sort of just bobbing around on top of it. It's a great thing. It kind of reminds me of the Suzuki Jimny maybe, or a Panda 4x4 in the way it just seems to overachieve despite being remarkably cheap and great value for money. And it's so much fun. Look at this torquey diesel motor, nice, pretty close ratio 6-speed gearbox, and it just bounces and bumbles along on this route. I'm on the wrong tyres as well. These are all seasons and it's got so much grip out here. This is great. And I've got a proper handbrake as well. Should we see if I can do a bit of a skid? Wait. Why spend tens and tens of thousands of pounds or whatever, how many thousands a month on some complicated SUV when you can just buy yourself a plucky Dacia and it will do it all? Green laning, yeah. This is the life. Here, let's try. Now, I've just arrived in quite a deep section of mud, and let's see how it gets out. And let's put my foot down and foot to the floor. Just grip, just grip. I see an ESC light flashing away, but I'm not really aware of it cutting the power. Power oversteer. Power oversteer in a Dacia Duster. This is brilliant. I want one so bad. There's an ESC off mode. Oh, it doesn't feel any different on this stuff. The traction is just too good for it to be making any difference so far. But here is a corner, and I love corners. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That's better. It just lets me put the power down and it lets the rear axle push the car around. I want one of these so bad. And of course, with really light power steering, light controls, the brakes are pretty well assisted. I mean, I'm not really having to do any workout apart from being jiggled around. It's very easy to be behind the wheel of this. Very different to your slightly more hardcore off-roaders, which of course, admittedly, will go further and farther. But, you know, these are pretty slippery green lanes, and with a handbrake turn and a bit of power on, yeah. This is excellent. And now we're back on the road, and well, this thing remains brilliant. It rides so nicely because it does with those bumps so well on the rough stuff. B roads in Britain, even our rubbish broken surfaces, it's a doddle, not a problem at all. It does roll around a bit and it feels a bit squidgy, but you never hit the end of the bump stops and you never feel like the car's struggling at all. It just rolls along really smoothly. And of course, it will do the family job as well. If you want this to be your family car, if you're not going to take it off-road, it will do that perfectly well. That's why so many of the front-wheel drive versions of this car sell so well. And that means you've got all of the family equipment you're going to need. You've got plenty of space in the back, decent sized boot, you've got an infotainment system, and it actually works. It's not the best one, and the reversing camera graphics, for example, do look a bit mid-80s, but at the same time, everything is functional and very practical. So yeah, the Dacia Duster has got right under my skin. I really like it. It's plucky, it's brilliant value for money. I think it looks really good as well. And well, today, going off-road and driving on tarmac, it's just monstered it all. What a great run around, what a great car. What do you think though? Do you like this Dacia Duster as much as I do, or do you think I've lost my mind a bit? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, do click that thumbs up button and get subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. See you soon.